Oh, hey, what's up? So it seemed like a good time to do another Best MIDI Keyboards video. This will be my 3.0 installment, and there's some new stuff out. There's some stuff that I haven't talked about on the channel before that I wanted to get into. And I wanted to focus today's installment on portable MIDI keyboards because I think that that's what most people are really interested in right now. You want something that you can use in the studio but also take with you on the go. Most of these are affordable as well, so that's always a plus. I think there's more great options than there's ever been for people who are looking for a portable MIDI keyboard. Now, as you can see, we got quite the stack to get through today, so I'm gonna try to keep this as short and to the point as possible. So in this video, I'll go over my favorites, talk about some pros and cons, hopefully help you find the keyboard that is right for you. And as usual, I will be doing a giveaway. I'm gonna pick multiple winners. Details for the giveaway will be at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. But I think that's enough intro. Let's get into the video. All right, so starting us off today is the latest offering from my friends over at Arturia. This is the new Micro Lab. And I just gotta show love. Arturia's software synths have been one of the main cornerstones of my songwriting process for years now. And more recently, I've started using their MIDI keyboards and have just been completely satisfied. I think the thing that really sets their keyboards apart is the key bed itself, which in my opinion just offers some superior playability and just an overall better experience. This Micro Lab is a stripped down and slightly more rugged version of the Mini Lab Mark II. You can see here the size difference and some difference in features. Obviously the Mini Lab Mark II gives you some drum pads and all of these programmable knobs, which are really great to have. But if you're looking for the most compact option, the Micro Lab does offer the same key bed that is in the Mini Lab Mark II, which is great. You got your pitch bend and modulation strips, which function really well. You've got octave buttons, you have a sustain button, and then you've got this button that allows you to play one finger chords. So what you do is you hold the button, you play a chord, and then you can trigger that chord with any note. Not necessarily a feature that I'm personally going to use too much, but definitely worth mentioning. One of the most notable things about these Arturia MIDI keyboards is that they come packaged with some great included software. Most notably, in my opinion, is Analog Lab Lite. Analog Lab Lite is a vintage keys and vintage synths plugin suite, which gives you access to over 600 presets and sounds. It's a great introduction into the world of Arturia synth and keyboard sounds, which are some of my favorite and most used plugins. The Micro Lab also has a built-in USB cable, and it wraps around the MIDI keyboard nicely, so you always got a cable with you and it keeps it nice and organized. Personally, I love that they included this. I feel like when I'm on the go, I've got dozens of cables that I need to keep track of, and this is one less thing that I have to think about. This rubberized edge is really nice too, and it comes in a few different colors, but the Micro Lab is substantially more lightweight than the Mini Lab Mark II. The thing that I really like about this Mini Lab is it feels super professional and sturdy and heavy. The plastic is really heavy duty. I can't really say the same about this Micro Lab, but I think that that's okay because this one is geared more towards the person who wants the ultimate lightweight portable option. So if you're interested in Arturia, you want to try out some of their plugins, and you're looking for the most portable, lightweight, and inexpensive option, check out the Micro Lab. These are selling on Amazon right now for right around 80 bucks, and I'll be sure to include a link in the description for those of you who are interested, but I think that's a steal. You get this great key bed, you get some great included software, you get a nice portable yet rugged package that fits nicely in a backpack. You really can't go wrong. This has been my main on-the-go MIDI keyboard for the past month or so. You can see I've already got a little bit of wear and tear on her, but I've been totally happy. This does everything that I needed to do. I don't really miss the drum pads all that much because you can play all your drum sounds right on your keyboard. But if you do want something that's still lightweight and portable, a little more heavy than the Micro Lab, of course you get drum pads and you get some programmable knobs. Check out the Mini Lab. These sell for right around 100 bucks on Amazon, and I still think this is one of the best MIDI keyboards on the market, so I wanted to bring it up for you guys. I've already done a pretty extensive review of this keyboard. I'll be sure to link a video up for you. And even with the Micro Lab coming in, I still think this is my MIDI keyboard of choice. But that's gonna do it for our look at Arturia MIDI keyboards. All right, so next up is the keyboard that I was probably most excited to check out. This is the new Launchkey Mini from Novation. Yeah, I know, that was pretty fancy. Did that on my first try too. Alright, so, so next up is the keyboard. So next up is the Alright, so next, I hope it still works, because I haven't filmed any of the demo stuff yet. Nothing's shaking on the inside, so that's always a good sign. I'm just kidding, that took me like a lot of tries. As far as the previous Launchkey Minis were concerned, I was just a little bit more impressed with some of the other options that were available. But this is the latest, this is the MK3, this is the third installment of this Launchkey Mini, and I think they really added some stuff to this keyboard that makes it worth considering. So let's talk about that. Up until now, I think the undisputed champion of size, portability, features was this guy. The Akai MPK Mini. Everybody's seen this, a lot of people use this one, and it was just kind of the best all-around option if you were looking for something small and portable, but also with quite a few features. And then this guy came along, which, little size comparison, very similar in size. The Launchkey Mini is just slightly thinner too, and it definitely feels like the Launchkey Mini is coming for this crown.
Hey, give me that.
So size and portability, right out the gate, A+. This is gonna have no problem fitting in any bag that you have. For my guitarist friends, this will probably fit in the front pouch of your guitar bag. So if you're going to like a writing session or a jam session or whatever, you can kind of just bring everything in one bag, which is always dope. Even though the plastic is pretty lightweight and I definitely wouldn't want to drop this thing, this doesn't feel cheap. It has a nice enough weight to it, and just the overall design of the product makes it feel kind of premium for the price tag. Now, the only thing that I'm not so crazy about is this key bed. There's not a whole lot of key travel. It feels a little bit like you're playing a toy. The velocity sensitivity, in my experience, works just fine, so there's no issues there. It's just that the playing experience on this keyboard isn't the greatest. Which, listen, this keyboard offers a lot of other great features, which we're gonna get into, so the key bed not being the best isn't a deal breaker at all for me. Now, anybody familiar with the Novation Launchkey line knows that this is a product that is mostly geared towards Ableton Live users. Now, I'm not an Ableton Live user, so I'm not going to be able to demo that for you. I will be sure to link in the description below a proper demo of how this controller links up perfectly with Ableton Live, but I'm hoping to make a case for this keyboard as a great option no matter what DAW you're using. This Launchkey Mini has 16 velocity-sensitive RGB backlit pads. But even for as small as these drum pads are, I have been super impressed at how well they function. We got this fixed chord control, which, like the Micro Lab that we looked at, will allow you to program a chord and then trigger it with a single note. We've got our pitch and modulation strips over here on the side. We've got 8 different programmable knobs. We've got octave controls. We have a transpose feature. And on the back, they've not only included a sustain pedal input, but they've also included this MIDI out jack, which will allow you to connect and control other MIDI devices, which is pretty crazy because you usually don't see that feature in a device at this price point. And then I think the feature that people are most gassed about is the arpeggiator, because it's pretty complex, it can do a lot, and it's kind of the first built-in arpeggiator that has taken a swing at the built-in arpeggiator in the Akai MPK Mini, which is also very good, but I think Novation takes it a few steps further. The Launchkey Mini also does come bundled with some great included software, most notably Ableton Live Lite, which is the intro version to Ableton Live. So you buy this MIDI keyboard and you have a DAW to get started with making your music. So the Launchkey Mini is just jam-packed with features. And for my money, I do think it has the slight edge on the Akai MPK Mini as the ultimate portability plus features champion. The Akai MPK Mini is still a really solid option, and if you want more information on this keyboard, I will be sure sure to link up the video where I do a little bit more of an extensive review of this keyboard. But I do really like the new kid on the block. The Novation Launchkey Mini Mark III is here to stay. I think if you're an Ableton Live user, this is the option for you. This is the way to go. So that is the Novation Launchkey Mini Mark III. So next up, I have the Komplete Kontrol M32 MIDI keyboard from Native Instruments. And at a first glance, this may not look like the best option if portability is your top priority, and that's because this keyboard offers 32 keys as opposed to 25, which is what you normally get in the smaller size MIDI keyboards. I will say this will fit in most bags or backpacks, but yeah, if portability is your ultimate priority, this is the biggest keyboard that we're going to talk about today. What I like about this MIDI keyboard though is that it is still small enough to be considered portable, but it's also big enough that it doesn't feel like you're working on a tiny little keyboard when you're in your studio. The key bed is really nice to play, really great velocity sensitivity in the keys. The M32 offers some great DAW controls right on the face of the keyboard. It has these 8 programmable knobs which can easily be dialed into perfection with the help of this little LCD screen that will give you a readout for whatever parameter you're controlling with your knobs. And this keyboard will integrate perfectly with any instrument found in Native Instruments Komplete software, as well as any NKS instruments like Arturia, Output, and UHI. This keyboard also comes bundled with some incredible software, including Ableton Live Lite to get you started making music. Again, Ableton Live Lite is a great intro version of Ableton Live. You also get some great Native Instruments staples like Machine Essentials and Monarch, as well as the Komplete Kontrol software, just to name a few. The M32 also comes with Native Instruments Komplete Start, which technically anybody can go and download. It's a lot like what Arturia has done with Analog Lab Lite. Komplete Start is kind of an intro into the world of the Native Instruments sounds. So all things considered, the keyboard, its playability, its functionality, the included software, the size and portability, but still it's got some extra keys than the other ones do. The price tag, however, is a little bit higher than some of the other keyboards that we looked at today. The M32 right now is selling for about $130 on Amazon. So you'll just have to decide if these extra features and the included software are worth the price markup for you. But in any event, the Komplete Kontrol M32 is a great option, especially if you're looking to get into the world of Native Instruments. So lastly, I've got kind of an interesting device that I want to check out with you guys. This was a product that was sent to me recently from a company here in New York, and they asked if I would be willing to share some thoughts, and so far in my limited use of this device, I'm pretty impressed. This is the Morph from Sensel, and as you can see, it's soups portable, super thin. Now, for as small as this package is, the Morph boasts some pretty impressive technology. The Morph has 20,000 pressure sensors in it, which is really just a fancy way of saying that you will have a ton of dynamic range to play with. And technically speaking, this isn't just a MIDI keyboard. It's intended to be an all-in-one control surface for artists. And the control surface changes its function with the swapping of these silicone overlays. So if you want to play keys, you have an overlay for that. If you want to play drums, you have a separate overlay for that. And there's even a separate overlay for music production with some drum pads and some piano keys. This one's actually really cool. but they also offer silicone overlays for video editing and for your computer keyboard. So in theory, this device really could be kind of a one-stop shop for all of your computer, video editing, music production needs. The thought of throwing just one super thin device in my bag along with my computer and knowing that kind of all my bases are going to be covered is ideal, to say the least. There's no question that I think the technology is there for this device, and I think it functions really well. Personally, I would see myself using this music production overlay probably the most. The keyboard overlay definitely functions just fine, but I definitely miss the feeling of actual physical keys with that key travel underneath. Maybe I'm too old school, maybe I'm set in my ways, but that's just something that I miss. But again, it's like, what do you expect from a piece of rubber? It's actually kind of remarkable that this control surface is registering notes the same way a MIDI keyboard would. If you're a creative professional or even an aspiring one, I think this is a really interesting device to consider. Whether I'm writing music or producing or editing video, the thought of being able to have some nice controls right at my fingertips is really interesting. I do think the $250 price point is going to steer a lot of people away from this. That $250 gets you the control surface and an overlay of your choice. Each additional overlay is $35. So the Sensel Morph might just be the ultimate compact, portable, versatile controller for creatives and musicians, but it's definitely going to come at a slightly higher price tag than some of the other options that we looked at today. So you will just have to determine if this is a good device for you. All right, so we covered a lot today. That's quite the ambitious undertaking by your boy Patrick. So I'm frankly exhausted. I'm definitely sweating. So let's get into the giveaway details and we'll wrap this thing up. So if you want to be entered to win one of the MIDI keyboards that we talked about today, all you need to do is subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell and leave a like and a comment on this video. Let me know in the comments below which one of these MIDI keyboards is your favorite and why. And yes, I am gonna pick a couple winners for this giveaway. I picked the first winner when the video hits 500 likes and the second winner when the video hits 1,000 likes. So good luck to all of you. Thank you guys as always for your support of this channel. These giveaways are just a small way for me to show my gratitude. So until next time guys, my name's Patrick. I'll catch y'all soon, all right? Peace.